Okay. Today we will be discussing about next topic in signals and system, that is basic operations on signals. Here, one dimension we are going to operation is done only for the one dimensional signal. Okay. In this one dimensional signal, again they are using two variables. By using two variables, that is first one is dependent variable, second one is independent variable. When I'm going to tell about a dependent variable, means dependent variable corresponds to the amplitude or value of the signal, means its amplitude is going to be changed. In independent signals, it's going to change with respect to the time. In terms of continuous, it is a t, or else in terms of discrete signal, it is in terms of n. These are all the independent and dependent variable. Next, operation performing on dependent variable. In this, the first one is amplitude scaling. For continuous, the equation is going to be taken as y of t is equals to c into x of t. In terms of discrete time signal, y of n is equals to c of x of n. Here, x of t is the input signal and x of n is the input in terms of discrete, and where c is the scaling factor, where we are going to do the scaling operation for the signal. Next, in addition operation means the two continuous signals, that is x1 of t and x2 of 3t, are going to be adding here. So you will be getting output as y of t is equals to x1 of t plus x2 of t. And in terms of discrete means y of n is equals to x1 of n plus x2 of n, means we are going to adding the two signals. Next, in multiplication, again just a change here. Here discrete signals are x1 of n actually. Okay. Multiplication, same thing, y of t is equals to x1 of t into x2 of t in terms of continuous. In terms of discrete means y of n is equals to x1 of n into x2 of n. This is how you have to do. Next, in differentiation, here the equation is going to be y of t is equals to dx of t divided by dt, and we can do an integration for continuous time signal by the equation y of t is equals to integration minus infinity to t x of tau into d tau. These are all 5 basic operation we are going to do for a dependent variable, means in terms of changing the amplitude value. Next, if I go with the operation performed on independent variable, the first one is time scaling. Let x of b be a continuous time signal and a is the scaling factor. Here the condition we have to take as y of t is equals to x of at. Observe here, in dependent variable c into x of t we taken, but here time is going to be changing. For that reason, x of a t. Again here two conditions will come across here. When what is the value for a? If a is greater than 1, the signal y of t is going to be compressed. Remember, when a is greater than 1, signal is going to be compressed. When a is in between 0 and 1, means point values, the signal y of t is expanding. Okay, a is output signal is going to be expanding when a values are in between 0 and 1. This is about time scaling. Here one small example here taken. A signal is taken. Okay, in this signal a step response is changing from -2 to +2. Okay, here how to do this x of t signal is a x of t only. In this case, how we can go for? First, if I take x of 2t, means a is greater than 1. When a is greater than 1, what you have to do? This time function, what is the scaling factor? A is 2, that you have to take as an inverse, that is 1 by 2. That 1 by 2 you have to multiply for the time function of each value, means -2 into 1 by 2, again you will get as -1, again minus 1 into 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, 1 into 1 by 2, 1 by 2 only, 2 into 1 by 2 means 1. Then what is the change is going for if I change the time? Observe here, Here you will get, observe here, the value is changing from, instead of -2 to +2, it's changing from -1 to +1. This is how we have, the signal is going to be compressed. Here the -1 amplitude is changing at -1/2. Here 1 -1/2, here 1/2. This is how a signal is going to be compressed. Next we are looking for the next condition, that is x of 1/2 into t. When 1/2 means in between 0 and 1, what you have to do? Take this inverse, that is 1/2 of inverse is 2 only. Then multiply that 2 inverse of a, that is to the time function of the signal, first signal. Means 2 into 2, it's going to be 4. 1 into 2 means 2. Minus 1 into 2 means 2. Minus 2 into 2 means -4. Then what is the time is going to change here? Instead of -2 to 2, it's going to change from -4 to +4. So you'll be getting the signal like this, -4 to 4. Again, one signal, one position is going to change to the 2 position, again from -1 to -2. Same signal is compressed. It's not going to change as an amplitude value. It's only changing towards your time function. Okay, this is the x of 1/2 signal, where it is going to be expanding. This is one example. Next, in terms of discrete, here equation is going to be taken as y of n is equals to x of kn, where k is greater than 0. When k is greater than 0, your samples are going to be exhibiting. But when k is less than 1, for negative values, it's going to be some samples of x of n would be lost. Means some samples are going to be losing. How it is going to do the operation? Just observe this example here. Here a sample signal is taken. Just an example. Here what we have to do? We have to perform the operation of x of 2n. What you have to do first? Take the scaling factor, that is 2. Take the inverse of scaling factor, that is 1/2. That 1/2 we have to multiply for the each time function. Okay, that is 4 into 1/2. Here we don't have any signals, for that reason neglect of this. Wherever the samples are there, you just take of that. Then 3/2 means, again it's a fractional value. 4/2 means 2. 2/2 means 1. 1/2 means 0.5. 0/2 means 2 only. Minus 1/2 means -0.5. Minus 2/2 means -1. What's the signals are going to be taken? Observe here. Here -2/2 means -1. -1. What is the amplitude of this? 0.25. That is going to be remain here. At -1/2 means 0.5. This value is going to be losing here. Next 0/2 means 0 only, for that is the whole value, for that it is remain as it is. Next 1/2 means half. This is going to be discarded. And then 2/2 means 1. 1 at, instead of position at 2, it's going to change to the position 1 with the amplitude of 2. This is coming here only. Next at 2 means 3/2 is a 1.5. Again it's a fractional value. We should not take off this. Next, consider for the next sample, that is 4/2 is 2. Instead of position at 4, it's going to change to the position 2 here in this case. This is how, and the amplitude of 3 is remaining as it is. Here how we have to take the function in terms of a discrete value. This is about time scaling. Next, time shifting. Here the time shifting is going to be done for the discrete and also for the continuous time signal. The operation is same for both. Okay, here the condition what you have to take, y of t is equals to x of t minus t naught. Means in this case, where t naught is the shift version of x of t. How much the shift it's going for? Again here two conditions. First condition is when t naught is greater than 0. When T naught is greater than 0 means signal shift towards right side, means positive values of T naught is going to be shifting towards right side, and for negative values of T naught the signal shift towards left side. Okay, the operation remains same for the discrete. What is the change is going for? Instead of T minus T naught, we have to consider as y of n is equals to x of n minus n naught. Okay, remaining conditions also remain same for discrete time signal. Next, here is an example. This is a triangle wave. Okay, x of t signal. We have to do the operation x of t minus 2. Consider here t minus 2, t naught. First, what you have to do? First, observe what is the t naught value. Negative is standard, don't change of that here. T naught, what is the value? T naught is going to be 2 plus 2. Plus 2 means positive value is shift towards right side. Shift towards right side. How, at what value it's going to shift? The signal is shifting towards right position from third position to the what value? What is the value of T naught here? That is 2. 2 plus 3 means 5. Like in the same way, 2 plus 2 means 4. 1 plus 2 means 2. Minus 1 plus 2 means minus plus 1. Okay. Observe here. This is how it is going to change. Instead, at the position 3, it is going to change towards position 5. Shifting the whole signal by 2 position towards right side. This is how it is going on. Next, one more example, x of t plus 3. What is the value of t naught here? I can write the signal as x of t of minus 3. Okay, for that reason, x of minus 3 means t naught value is going to be minus 3 value here. Okay, and we are going to do the operation for the x of t signal only. For this signal only, we are going to change. So T naught is minus 3 means just add this T naught value towards here in terms of time. 3 minus 3 means 3 minus 3 0, 2 minus 3 minus 1, 1 minus 3 minus 2, again minus 1, minus 3 means minus 4, means observe here all negative values are going far, means the signal is going to shift towards your left side. That is your second condition, because T naught is a negative value. This is your T minus 2 and this is your T plus 3. Here the signal is shifted towards left side by position minus 4 to 0. Here minus 1 to 3 it was there, but it's going to shift towards 3 positions towards the left side. This is how a time shift operation is going to be done. Next is reflection. Let x of t be the continuous time signal, then y of t is equals to x of minus t. Observe here, reflection means reflecting the signal. Observe this example. This is one example taken, triangular wave, where it is changing from minus 1 to 2. The reflection means the negative values are going to be a positive and positive values are going to be a negative value. X of t is this, then the reflection is going to be taken as it is x of minus t. Here is the negative value, it's going to be in a positive, and here is the positive value, here it is going to be negative. Again here positive, here is going to be negative. Just as a mirror image of the signal. Okay, positive values are going to be changed to the negative values. This is about the reflection. Next, here we come across how a scaling and shifting and reflection is done. In each case, what we taken is of different. Here we are going to do only one operation, that is shifting. Here also shifting. Here changing for scaling operation only, but in some conditions we have to do both shifting reflection, and also of a scaling operation also. How we can go for step by step? This is given by the person, that is a precedence rule. What 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 is the rule is telling to you? First we'll take, let the signal x of t and y of t are related. Here y of t is going to be taken as x of at minus b. Observe here, at is the scaling operation and then b is the shifting operation. When scaling and shifting, both the operations are there, what we have to do? Then first what we have to do, here is the same line is shown, shifting and also time scaling operations are there. Put t is equals to 0. When t is equals to 0 means what I will be left in here, x of minus b. Then put t is equals to b by a. T is equals to b by a in 1.37 equation. So what is you'll be getting, y of b by a is equals to x of 0. X of 0. B by a means a get cancels, b minus b means 0. 0 will get. After getting these values, okay, what you have to do? This is possible only if time shifting operation is performed first on x of t, which yields an intermediate signal v of t. Means first, what is the condition minus b I got here? Means we have to do first as a shifting operation. Shifting means this operation we have to do first. For that reason, the intermediate signal what I am going to get is of v of t is equals to x of t minus b. Okay, this is how we have to do. After getting v of t, we have to do the scaling operation for the v of t signal. Observe here. First, we are going to do a shifting operation for the x of t signal. What is the signal is given? Then we will be getting an intermediate signal. Then perform a scaling operation for the intermediate signal. That is what here it is taken. Next, the time scaling operation is performed on v of t. Okay, so you'll be getting at the output as y of t is equals to v of at. That is equals to, what is the scaling factor we have to take? How much we have to go for? That is the at. The same thing here it is taken. V of at is equals to x of at minus b. This is how we have to do when scaling and shifting operations are taken place. This is how we have to go for. Next, properties of system. In these properties, there are 6 properties: stability, memory, causality, time, invariance, invertibility, and linearity. We'll go one by one. This is very important in terms of theory. This question will ask for 8 marks. Okay. When I'm telling is stability, what do you mean by stable? Yes, whatever the system we are going for, we tell it should operate in terms of a stable operation. Okay, what is the stable means? What we are going to give on as an input, you should get as the output what you expected. As a designer, you will be expecting if you are giving the inputs and you should get as the output. Okay, for that reason, the definition is going to be every system should be in bounded input and bounded output. For a communication system, what's the speech you are going to talk in a mobile? Okay, you'll be giving an input and your friend will be listening your words. Means that is the output to the your friend. Whatever the words you are going to talk, it should reach to that person. Okay, to maintain the communication, and we have to fix the frequency range within a bandwidth with a certain frequency. It's going to reach towards a far distance communication. Okay, in such application we have to maintain a stability. Due to some rainy seasons as clouding, a signal is going to be a small disturbance will be there, a noise is going to be adding there. Okay, that it should not happen. We have to maintain a stable in the communication way. Okay, that is what one more thing. And one more example I can give in robot system. What is the input we are going for? How much the angle it should rotate, the arm or leg or else the head. How much the angle you are fixing, it should rotate of that angle only. It is shifting to other angles means you are not getting the output of that. That's what. How much you fix, you should get of that. That's what bounded input, bounded output. The stability, if when I'm telling a system is going to be a stable, it should satisfy the condition, that is output y of t, it should be less than or equals to my, means the how much you are going to fix that value, and that should be within a limit, within less than or equals to infinity. What is the magnitude you are going for? Then x of t in terms of input also it should be bounded within a limit. That is about your stability. Next, a memory. When you tell a system is having a memory, when it can store some values in your where DST subject you learned, we have latches, we have buffers, where I can store the values of zeros and ones for a certain intervals of time. Okay, flip-flops, these are some factors where I can store the information. Okay, and in terms of your electrical signals, means inductors, yes, we can store the information. In capacitors also I can store the information. Yes, those are having a memory. Okay, for that reason in your transformer you'll be using of your inductors, the coils what you are taking at a primary and also at the secondary windings. Okay, that's what the memory. Okay, when I can tell a memory, a system said to be a memory if it consists of past, observe here, the past and also of the future values, then only I can tell the system is having the memory. The example, inductors in electrical circuit, that is y of n is equals to 1 by 3. In terms of discrete, it's taken x of n plus x of n minus 1 plus x of n minus 2. The equation consists of how many past values? Two past values, that is x of n minus 1 and x of n minus 2 values. That is what it's a memory. Next, a system said to be memoryless. Okay, if it consists of only the present value, only the present value, then it is called as a memoryless. Okay, the example, resistors in the electrical system circuit. What is a resistor? How much the voltage you are going to apply, and what is the current you are going, it's going to flow in your resistors. What is the value it's there? How much its deflection is going for by the meters? It will be showing off that only. Okay, that's why a resistor are a memoryless component. That's what. When a system is going to be memoryless means it consists of only the present value. When it is having a memory means a past and also of a future values. This is how we have to go for the memory. Next, what about the causality? A system is said to be a causal if it consists of past or present, previous values and also of the present value. Then I can tell a system is having a causal. Observe here, example is of y of n is equals to 1 by 3 x of n plus x of n plus x of n minus 1 plus x of n minus 2. The equation consists of two past values, that is x of n minus 1 and also x of n minus 2, so that it is having a causal function. A system is said to be non-causal if it consists of future values. What do you mean by future values? Example is of y of n is equals to 1 by 3 x of n plus x of n plus 1. Observe here, n plus 1 plus x of n minus 2. Why it is having future values means the next value, n plus 1 value. For that reason, a system is going to be taken as a non-causal. When you get a future value in the given equation, then you have to tell that the system is going to be a causal, non-causal system. Okay, when a memory means past and future, causal means past or present value. This is about the causality. Time, next is of time invariance. The name only telling it's not varying with respect to time. The characteristic of time invariant system do not change with the time. That's what important. It's not going to change with the time. Otherwise, system is said to be time variant. Here, example is taken. This is one operation, a system operator, that is H and H inverse. What is the input we are going to give? That is as x1 of t, and you will be getting the intermediate signal x2 of t. You will be getting as output as y2 of t. Now I will write the equation for x2 of t, that is x1 of t is going to be shifting. H means the shifting operation, that is x1 of t minus t naught. That shifting operation, this t naught is taken as s power t naught, s power t naught, the of x1 of t. This is what the intermediate signal you got. Again, at the output, inverse operation. Okay, so what you will get? Y2 of t is equals to h. This h operation with respect to h operation is for what? X2 of t. Okay, that's what here wrote h, then x2 of t. x2 of t means s power t naught of x1 of t. This is how the equation is going to be changing here. Then what is the next? X1 of t is equals to h y1 of t. Then the inverse is going to here y1 of t minus t naught. Here the equation. For the output signal, we are going to change. We are doing the shift operation. Okay, here y1 of t minus t naught is going to be s raised to t naught, a shift operation of y1 of t, then s raised to t naught h of x1 of t. This is how it's going for. Next, the system is time invariant if the outputs y2 of t and y1 of t minus t naught are equal. Means y2 of t should be equals to the y1 of t minus t naught. When both are equal, observe here, s power t naught into h. Here also h power h into s power t naught. The same thing, if I equate h of x1 of t, it's going to be, sorry, x1 of t is going to be cancel off. I'll be left with h of s raised to t naught, that is equals to s raised to t naught into h. This is how we can do a time invariant system. The same thing we can do for the discrete also. Next is a next property, invariability. Means it's not going to change. A system said to be invertible if the input of the system can be recovered from the output. Invertibility means what is the input I am going to for. If I do some operation there, I should get the same output. Means in communication system, we are providing a speech signal that is going to be converted to the electrical system, okay, in terms of zeros and ones, and again those electrical signals are going to be converted to the sound. Like that, whatever the input I am going to give, I should get as a output only, even though I am going to do some operation in between there. That is what invertibility. Here the operator taken as h and h inverse. The intermediate signal is of y of t. When I multiply h inverse into h, I will be getting as identity factor, that is I. The operator h inverse is called the inverse operator, and associated system is called the inverse system. Excuse me. The associated system is called the inverse system. Example is the equalizers in a communication channel. You are giving a speech and you will be getting the signal at the speech signal only. Okay, this is how a invertibility is going to be affecting. Next, linearity. In electrical system, you will be learned how when I can tell a system is going to be a linear. Here also the same function. A system is said to be linear in terms of excitation and response if it is satisfying the two conditions, that is superposition and also of homogeneity. When I'm going to tell about superposition, that is let x of t is equals to x1 of t, that is the first output of the input. Then with respect to this, the output I'll be getting as y1 of t is equals to y1 of t, that is one system output. Then another system at input I'm going to take as x of t is equals to x of 2 of t and y of t is equals to y2 of t, be the output of another system. Then for system to be linear, the composite input, if I'm going to add two functions, that is x1 of t, x2 of t, means x of t is equals to x1 of t plus x2 of t. The output is going to be taken as y of t is equals to y1 of t plus y2 of t. Here it is y2 of t, small correction, y2 of t. This is what your superposition. Then homogeneity means when for a input signal a scaled it is scaled by some factor, by a constant factor, and then output y of t is scaled by exactly the same factor, that is x of t is equals to summation I is equals to 1 to n ai xi of t, y of t is equals to summation I1 is equals to 1 to n ai yi of t, means input is scaled by ai and also output should also scaled by ai, then only I can tell it is of homogeneity. This is what a linearity. Linearity means it should satisfy both the condition, that is superposition and also homogeneity. Okay, this thank you. This is all about the properties of a system, that is stability, memory, causality, time invariance, invertibility and linearity. This is important. Okay.